Today on the show, we'll bring you two trending tech stories and one big story. You'll be excited about this one. We have a guest joining us online to discuss. So the first trending story we'll be discussing is Flutterwave, and we'll also be discussing the AI developments in Nigeria, how the government is supporting a lot of fintech organizations with grants for research. For our first trending story today, Mitish Popat joins Flutterwave as the new Chief Financial Officer. Mitesh brings 20 years of global financial service experience across North America, Europe, Middle East, and Africa, which will be instrumental in driving Flutterwave's next growth and financial sustainability phase. Most recently, he has held executive roles at Citi, including a role as Chief Financial Officer for Middle East and Africa, overseeing finance operations across 29 countries, and CFO for global equity sales and trading, providing financial leadership for all aspects of a 5 billion revenue business. If you remember, last year, Flutterwave began announcing the appointment of several new executives from very large companies like PayPal, if you remember, Stripe, and Western Union. The new executive includes Mitish from Citi, which we just announced, and also it's a commitment by Flutterwave to recruiting top talents from around the world to improve their financial operations, and also investing in risk management strategies and all of those things, compliance, loss reduction, and prevention to drive growth. For our second trending story, we're bringing you the latest right now. The federal government of Nigeria has allocated 200 million naira in grants to 55 Nigerian researchers. So it's courtesy of the Nigerian Artificial Intelligence Research Scheme, NAIRS, and the Fourth Industrial Revolution Technology Application, 4IRTA. Last December, if you recall, the ministry announced that 45 Nigerian researchers were selected under the NAIRS program to receive grants for their AI projects. And similarly, in January this year, 10 additional startups were shortlisted under the 4IRTA program to receive up to 10 million naira in funding to deepen the application of agriculture and technology. So these researchers are working in various sectors. If you recall, we are always asking for inclusion. So these researchers are working in various sectors of the Nigerian economy, including healthcare, agriculture, finance, and education. According to the Minister of Communication, Innovation, and Digital Economy, Dr. Bosu Tijani, the scheme aims to nurture a dynamic and sustainable artificial intelligence ecosystem in Nigeria by providing financial support and promoting knowledge sharing and collaboration among individuals and organizations in the artificial intelligence industry. What you should know about this announcement, what excites me, is that aside the AI strategy currently being reviewed, I think a document was recently released, the Nigerian government recently launched its large language model, which is expected to position Nigeria as an AI leader in Africa. I am particularly excited by this one. And the minister has said that the LLM will be trained in 5 low resources languages and accented to English to ensure stronger language representation. You know, if you don't understand that, forget about it. But what I'm here to let you know is that our local languages will also be incorporated in that training. So you see people who don't speak English will also be able to communicate with artificial intelligence to get the most of it. So that's what it really means. So the AI tool is currently being built by a Nigerian startup called Awari in partnership with a global tech company, Data.org, the National Information Technology Development Agency, NITDA, and the National Center for AI and Robotics. Artificial intelligence has become a multi-purpose technology, transforming production and service delivery, potentially significantly impacting economic growth and social progress. Recent research shows that artificial intelligence could contribute up to 15.7 trillion US dollars to the global economy by the year 2030, with $3 trillion from increased productivity and $9.1 trillion from new products and services. Nigeria just recently released a document, or should we say right now, inaugurated its National Artificial Intelligence Policy. This strategic initiative is poised to drive growth for us as a people. To shed some light on the conversation, I have Olawale Adepoju, an artificial intelligence, machine learning, and cloud technology expert, joins us all the way from Tokyo, Japan, to shed some light on this conversation. Hello, Olawale. It's good to have you on the show.
Thank you very much, Ken. I'm very delighted to be on the show with you this afternoon. I'm really glad to be here to shed more light on artificial intelligence and what artificial intelligence can actually do for us as a nation and as individuals as well.
Well, it's good to have you on the show. Let me start with my first question. We recently saw that globally, AI has massively transformed production generally and also service delivery. Can you explain what excites you about this new development with regards to AI, artificial intelligence, used particularly in production and also for service delivery?
Yeah, absolutely. AI is revolutionizing both production and service delivery across industries globally. In terms of production, we can actually see how AI has been somewhat very positive when it comes to automation and robotics. For example, we are actually in the advent of we're seeing self-driving cars and likes of Tesla. We have BYDs. We have so many. Lucid, for example. We have so many companies coming on board when it comes to automation. And these when it comes to manufacturing as well, we have AI-powered robotics and automated systems, which are actually taking over some kind of repetitive and hazardous task. So I think, and also when in terms of predictive maintenance, we have AI coming on board as well when it comes to AI algorithm to analyze data from sensors, IoTs, Internet of Things. And so with these data, we can actually make predictive maintenance. So AI has actually been transforming so well when it comes to production. And in terms of service delivery as well, we have customer service doing very well now in terms of chatbot and virtual assistants. AI has actually been helpful in that regards. And in the sector of healthcare as well, we have AI helping to diagnose diseases properly compared to when it's left to humans alone.
This is interesting. While Nigeria is on the verge of formulating its inaugural national artificial intelligence policies, what are the key components that should be included in this policy to ensure that it drives transformative growth for us as a people? We are very good at copying and pasting. We must get that clear here. But what are the particular things that should be included in our own artificial intelligence policy to ensure that it drives growth in our own context?
Formulating a national AI policy is a significant step for Nigeria. Just like we've seen, there is a current draft which I've actually seen from Nigeria AI strategy. I think we are actually in a good direction because it can actually drive transformative growth if it includes comprehensive and forward-thinking components. So that is very important. So if it includes a forward-thinking component. So I think the Federal Ministry of Communication, Innovation and Digital Economy has actually set a path to achieve the vision to be among the global leaders in harnessing the transformation of AI. So I would say one of the key components or the key components to formulating the policy would be having a clear vision and objective, because we need to define our vision. We need to define how we want to use AI to drive the economic growth of a country. And also for the objective, we need to have a measurable objective, which would actually, creating jobs, improving healthcare, enhancing education, and maybe increasing efficiency when it comes to public services. And also, we need to, while forming the policies, we need to think about the ethical and social consideration as well when it comes to bias and fairness, and also the public awareness, because we know to implement such things, we need to be aware of maybe, or we need to be aware, identify and mitigate biases in AI systems, of course. So, and also governance and when it comes to regulatory framework, these are the things I think we need to check and put in place while formulating these policies.
Interesting. Well, if you're a Nigerian, despite you living in Tokyo, Japan, we have our unique challenges as well as our opportunities are also endless. How can Nigeria, looking at this policy being brought to life, leverage artificial intelligence to address our own unique challenges as well as the opportunities that are endless for us?
Oh, luckily, I'm a Nigerian, so we know how it is. So Nigeria has I would say we have unique set of challenges and opportunities as well that can actually be actively addressed when it comes to applying AI to most of the things we do. For example, our healthcare in Nigeria, we know how it is, and AI currently, just like I said in the beginning, it's actually helping right now based on analysis from data and stuff like this. We can use AI to leverage when it comes to diagnosing and treatment in the healthcare sector. AI can actually help in maybe diagnosing diseases more accurately and quickly through when it comes to computer vision. We have things like image recognition and data analysis particularly, and also in telemedicine as well. I talked about using virtual assistants and so for telemedicine, AI can actually power telemedicine to provide maybe remote consultations, making healthcare more accessible to people in rural areas and undeveloped areas. Also, predictive analysis. AI can actually be used to predict disease outbreak. I think I once worked on using machine learning for breast cancer detection to detect if breast cancer based on the image patterns, maybe if it's Bellinum malignant. So these are areas where we can actually leverage AI in Nigeria. Also in terms of agriculture, I think a few people have actually been doing precision farming in Nigeria, if I'm right. So we can also leverage AI when it comes to precision farming and stuff like it. Because like in Japan, I think I once worked on a project where AI was actually used in agriculture to leverage the kind of disease by snapping or taking pictures of plants or fruits. You can actually predict the kind of diseases and stuff like that. So these are areas we can actually leverage AI in Nigeria. Also, our financial services, because machine learning AI generally works well when it comes to fraud detection and credit scoring and stuff like this. So we can actually tackle fraud detection when it comes to security using AI.
Virtually touched on all areas. You've talked about diagnosis using artificial intelligence in healthcare. You've talked about precision agriculture, precision farming in agriculture. You've talked about predictive analysis in cybersecurity to mitigate fraud in the financial industry. This is quite for me as a person, as a Nigerian, these areas are still largely untapped. The endless opportunities that exist there are available to young persons to take advantage of. Now, as an expert in artificial intelligence, machine learning, and cloud technology, what advancements in these fields are you most excited about?
Oh, so as an AI person, I've actually worked so many times using artificial intelligence and machine learning generally. So for me, I would say one of the most exciting advancement for me personally is the area of automated machine learning, auto ML, and AI as a service, right? So because now if you look at cloud computing, now most of the giant companies coming into cloud, there is a way you can actually automate machine learning platforms on cloud, making it easier for non-experts to build, deploy, and manage machine learning model. For example, in the case of AWS, which I'm very familiar with, we have when it comes to machine learning, SageMaker, you don't necessarily need to be a full expert. using SageMaker, you can actually do your deployment, building your model, and you just need little, so it's like a drag and drop thing. So, and AI as a services, now we have so many companies going into pre-trained models and APIs, which you can leverage on to build your models. So I think these are part of the things that excite me more about AI. And also in the aspect of natural language processing, conversation AI, which we are all enjoying today, talk about ChatGPT and stuff like this. Natural language processing, it's one of the things that is coming up, I would say, not at its full potential yet, but I think there are still a lot of things to come from that aspect, natural language processing.
You see, this natural language processing conversation, if you remember earlier in the show, we talked about the government giving about 200 million naira to around 55 startups in Nigeria to help deepen the use and application of artificial intelligence around these areas we've talked about in healthcare, in security, cybersecurity, in agriculture, national security as well. And we also talked about the investment in large language modeling. What are your thoughts around large language modeling for Nigeria?
So NLP still has a long way to go because even the bigger companies are trying to, bring about different ways to actually get data. So one of the problem of NLP is not having enough data. I think while I was in India, I think one of the institutes was in Bangalore was trying to, build more models for NLP because there's still this ambiguity when it comes to natural language processing because as humans, if we talk in maybe slangs and stuff like that, you tend to understand what I mean based on humans. But for these, machine cannot understand. For example, if you say it's going to rain, maybe a cat and dog or something like that, humans can definitely understand what you mean by maybe it's going to rain heavily or things like that. But when it comes to machine only understands cat and dog as it is. So these are areas where we are still trying to break barrier when it comes to natural language processing, the ambiguity. So I think one of the challenges is not having enough data, where we have bigger companies trying to break that barrier at the moment. And I think once natural language processing it's at full scale, I think it's going to be wonderful when it comes to that particular aspect. So for Nigeria, I would say data might actually be one of the challenges that would be faced.
You see the integration of artificial intelligence, machine learning, cloud technology benefiting businesses and government in this context?
So now when it comes to cloud computing and integrating AI into cloud, so one of the major benefits of cloud is it says pay as you go pricing. So that means for business owners, government, it's like you don't need to set up your own infrastructure, having your own data center somewhere. Everything is already in the cloud. So you pay as you use. So now you're saying you're paying for what you use. So in terms of cost, it would be so beneficial. And also when it comes to scalability. So because scalability is one of the fundamentals when it comes to cloud. Now scalability means for today you're having about 2,000 maybe transactions going on in your company. And in next 2 hours or 3 hours, there is a burst whereby you have almost 10,000 sales going on, 10,000 transactions going on. If you're not in the cloud, then you have to think about how to buy servers and stuff like that. But when you're fully integrated into cloud, and just like AI now is in cloud and things like that, you don't have to worry about the scalability because you just scale out automatically. We call it horizontal scaling in cloud technology. It scales out automatically. You don't need to worry about the infrastructure, the servers, and what have you. But now you just have to pay for what you use, pay as you go pricing. And I think this is one of the benefits when it comes to cloud technology. And now leveraging AI on cloud technology, we see different APIs. When it comes to recommendation systems, you come to computer vision, for example, in AWS, you have these APIs readily available for you. You just need to connect to it and tap into it.
All right, before I let you go, I have two questions for you. One is, what are the potential challenges Nigeria might face in implementing its AI policy, and how can this be mitigated? So in answering that, I'd also like you to just wrap up with my last question, which would be, how can AI be used to promote social progress and inclusivity in Nigeria? So 2 questions in one.
All right. Thank you. So I would say the potential challenges that Nigeria might face in implementing AI policy would be one, infrastructure deficiency. Just like we know, there is limited access to high-speed internet, reliable electricity, and so this can actually hinder development and deployment of AI technologies. So when it comes to the mitigation, we can invest in infrastructures, prioritize investment in digital infrastructures. Also, the public-private partnership, the government can actually collaborate with private sectors and companies to accelerate this infrastructure. And also, one major challenge again would be the data privacy and security concerns, right? So the use of AI can actually be very critical when it comes to this regard, and the government should do a kind of robust data protection law whereby it can actually enforce maybe comprehensive data protection and regulations that aligns with the global standard. And also when we talk about what might actually hinder AI policies, we're looking at ethical and bias issues. AI systems can actually be biased in its outcome and ethical concerns. So there should be ethical guidelines. So and for the last question, how can if I'm right, how can
AI be used to promote social progress
in Nigeria? Yeah, to promote progress in Nigeria.
Yes.
Just like I stated earlier, when it comes to agriculture, healthcare, education, financial services. So these are aspects we need to leverage AI more, because I think AI has come to stay. I would use that word. AI has come to stay, and we as people should leverage this opportunity to make a better use of it. So when it comes to healthcare, AI can be used very well. I've touched about precision farming, the financial sector. We have the data in the financial sector, but we need to be able to use this data to make predictive analysis.
Thank you very much, Olawale Adepoju, artificial intelligence, machine learning, and cloud technology expert. Thank you for joining us to discuss these conversations. We'd have to bring you back some other time on the show, because these conversations would keep coming up, and we would like to have you. Thank you very much for being on the show today.